Ding, 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 ding.
Welcome to the newest episode of See You in the Thundershop.
We are, in fact, not in the lobby.
We are not in the lobby. I'm here to get a haircut upon request from my teammates. I've been growing out my hair on my head, my hair on my face, and thankfully we have Boanerges here to make me look like a human.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah, listen, we needed a little scene setting. Gaming Society let us take a field trip, and we're like, all right.
Bringing you to your first black barber.
I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Told you he needs the part. Make sure he gets the part.
It's going to be great. You can't mess this up.
You're such a good sport, Matt. You say yes to anything.
I will say yes to anything for content. And listen, I will get you back is the thing.
Get me back. You're going to look great after
I am going to look
now
great.
Now that you don't already look great.
I'm going to get you out of your hair comfort zone as well. We're going to do some bets.
Okay.
We're going to maybe do some hair dyes.
Okay.
I'm very excited for what our future has. Anyway, I feel like we should start with it being training camp week.
Training camp week.
It's WNBA Training Camp week, which is very, very exciting.
Yes, it means the season's right around the corner.
It means the season's right around the corner. It also means that we're about to get pretty mad at teams for having to cut a bunch of players.
Yeah, and then we'll continue to have the conversation about the W needs expansion.
And I'll be one of those people on the internet that says it over and over again. But it is true that the league does need expansion. We already saw Emily Angsler got cut by Indiana, which was pretty crazy. The number 4 pick from last year. Already didn't make a team. Training camp didn't start. I'm curious, Marissa, if you can give us some insight on what pre-training camp was like for you guys. And then also, anything you can remember from training camp itself.
I mean, leading up to training camp, it's situational, but it's also tricky because some people are still overseas. Some people are just getting back and have their couple days before they have to report to training camp. So if you're a vet, you're lucky because a lot of times if you're just coming from overseas, the team will give you a couple of days off before you have to report to training camp. But usually, especially if you're trying to make the team, you get there early. There's workouts with the coaches, and it's a great opportunity to get ahead of the curve and start learning the new plays. And I'm laughing. Sorry, this is going to be funny.
I can't see anything that's happening.
No, it's just an opportunity to get familiar with the system and give you a leg up before training camp starts. And then it's like the excitement of it all because it's a new season. If you're a returning player and you've worked on your game in the off season or had a good year overseas, you're coming back excited to show what you can do. And training camp itself, it doesn't matter how many times you go through it, you always have the butterflies because it started a new season. And then too, most teams do 2-a-days because you have to compact a lot in.
Can you explain what a true 2-a-day is like?
True 2-a-day. Let's just say first practice is 9. We'll say that's 9 to 11.
Yeah.
But really, it's probably 8 to 12 because you're getting there early. You're getting extra shots up.
There's
pre-practice. So
okay.
Pre-practice usually includes maybe half on the court, like maybe guards on the court right posted in the weight room, vice versa. Then there's actual practice. Then post-practice where you're getting more shots up, or maybe you're in the weight room again. So that's practice 1, and then practice 2 sometimes. Could be more situational stuff, so it might be a scrimmage, might be half practice, and then second half is a scrimmage, or you're doing game situations where it's end of quarter, end of game stuff. So it really just depends on the team and the coach, but you're in there twice.
Training camp sounds like a whole lot. The thing I'm most curious about is, you obviously were a player who was never on the verge of getting cut, but for a lot of players, they're playing for their careers at that point. What is it like for those players?
No, there was my second year in LA. I was like on the fence.
Really? And year 2?
And I think kind of it might have been like a tactic to try to get me there, but
you might have gotten bullied.
No, it's just like you're fighting for your life, and then especially that was my third year in the WNBA. So then I'm still really competing against rookies that are coming in because I'm still on a rookie contract. But no, it's just time to show what you're about. And I think a lot of players, especially coming to the W, because we know there's limited spots in teams, your role in college is not going to be your role in the W. Unless you're a Leah Boston or a player that's meant to come in. So if you're a player that, in college, you're averaging 20 and 10, it's very unlikely that that's going to be your same role in the W. So I think if, not that you would ask, but any advice I would give to some young players is find out what you do really well, and that's all you need to do in training camp. Because if you're a rookie, if you're a player in training camp, they're not bringing you in to be the scorer. They have that. They have that player already. So be a rebounder, be a defender, be a vocal leader, be a good team player. Focus on those things, because everybody can score at that level, and chances are you're not being brought in or you weren't drafted to put up 30.
Just the mental hurdle of it all. Even looking at a team like Dallas this year, knowing they drafted, 4 first-round picks, maybe 2 of them are going to make the roster. I'd be freaked out about that constantly. You're probably just constantly reviewing how you did versus how the other person did in practice every day. You're probably you're going one-on-one in certain drills. Like, that's really hard, because if you don't make a team, there's no developmental league like the NBA has. So you're either waiting around and hoping you get a call-up if someone gets hurt, or you're starting to look for overseas stuff already? Yeah,
and it's the unfortunate situation of it all. But yeah, I mean, I've seen players that were on the fence in the stress. It's a stressful training camp for them, because they're literally playing for their survival. So you see the stress and the pressure.
And you have 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks?
Honestly, the window, if you're on the fence, the window's a little smaller, because you look at some of these teams that I think now with prioritization, it won't be as much as a factor, but you think that a lot of teams are signing people just for training camp. Or like, say Vegas, for example, like Chelsea's not in training camp yet. When Chelsea comes back, they have to cut somebody to create that spot for her. So you see that oftentimes, or I know there was even a couple of times when I played in Indiana where Ketch was never going anywhere. So Ketch sat out the first couple of days of training camp so that we could give other people a chance. And then it's like, all right, they made their decision. So it's a lot. It's intense.
It's quick. And for the college kids, they just finished school. Mm-hmm. Like, some of them might not have even graduated fully yet.
So there's no period to adapt. No. If you're coming straight from college to the league, if you're one of those players in training camp, it's a quick learning curve. So it's also important too, like as far as learning the plays, coming before and staying after, because this isn't college. They're not going to stop to break it down for you. Everything moves really fast, and you have to be able to pick up on it. So coaches watch for that. Who's staying after practice? Not just to get shots up, but for things like that, to learn the plays.
It's it sounds like a mental battle.
Training camp is definitely challenging.
I hope the league does something. Again, we talk all the time about roster expansion. We talk all the time about league expansion in the amount of teams. But even if there's something else they can do for training camp spots, even trying to figure out a way, like I love what the 2-way contract has been able to do in the NBA. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there isn't a second league for WNBA players to play in, but some other additional, like, conditional spot to at least give someone a chance to stick on a team and develop.
Yeah, I don't know how they'll be able to do that. Maybe it's giving each team two-way contracts, or however you do it. I don't know how they work that out financially, but we need more. We need expansion teams.
Sure as hell do. You want to theoretically dang. I cannot believe we did not bring.
I know, and I was on my way here, and I was like, "Dang, you forgot the bell." I had one job.
Lack of bell is really a tough one. However, Marissa, I want to give you a section here, because I know that there's been a persistent commenter who has said some things that aren't so great, but that we've heard before. So I think it needs to be addressed.
I screenshot the comments.
Oh, yeah.
First, I do read the comment section. So before I address this, I'm going to address...
Isn't that right, hater?
I am so over being called an LSU hater.
Say it.
Who says I have to be an LSU fan? It's sports. There's bias in sports. It's all subjective. So just because I have an opinion one way or the other does not make me a hater. It's my opinion. I've never said... Again, how many times I just sit here and say... I've never said anything bad about LSU. I just had my opinion. And for all you guys that are saying, oh, I'm so bitter because Angel Reese left Maryland, I'm asleep. Because that's not true at all. I've said multiple times on this show, Matt, have I not, that Angel made the best decision that was for her and it worked out.
I was about to say, and off camera. It's been the same.
Yes, I've never said anything. She made the best decision for her. So I am not bitter at all. My Terps still did well. and we're going to continue to do well. But that's not why we're here today.
Here we go.
So,
go ahead.
This is the most tired comment in any female basketball player, especially on the professional level, was so tired of hearing we need to lower the rims. So we had a comment that said, I want to see you women make millions, but I wish you would put your pride aside and lower the rim. So that's what first got me very upset. It's our pride. It's not a pride thing. It would bring in the millions you're looking for. I'm only saying this because trying it your way hasn't worked for 25 years. And remember, it's not on the NBA to fix your league. It's on the OGs of the league to say, hey, let's give it a try lowering the rim. He's commented more, but I'm going to address that one first. Lowering the rim, like I said, it's a tired argument. It's a nonsensical argument, and it's very insulting to every professional women's basketball player. And I say that because we have hit the pinnacle of our sport. We are playing in the WNBA. We have made the sacrifices. We have worked our asses off. We have put our all into this, and we're still being compared to the guys. Our game has never been meant to play above the rim. And you're asking us to relearn the game and to shoot you've been shooting a 10-foot rim your entire career, and now let's lower it to 9 feet to appease that handful of people that think that that's going to increase viewership. It's not. We're not going to be out here windmilling, dunking. It's not going to be anything worth watching. If anything, it's going to water down the product. And two, how many times do you watch an NBA game, Matt, and you see a jaw-dropping dunk? It's rare.
Right.
We were just talking off camera. We watched Steph Curry put up 50 in the Game 7 yesterday. He didn't dunk the ball once. But we're sitting here talking about his performance.
That's my favorite comment. Like whenever anyone comments something about like WNBA and dunking, I always ask people, what's your favorite Steph Curry dunk? And then they don't reply because they don't have a favorite Steph Curry dunk. And that's no shade to Steph Curry, who is debatably the best player on the planet right now. He just doesn't dunk. So why do you need to dunk?
It's not needed. I can't. Like, okay, Ja Morant, he's
amazing dunker.
I'll watch a Memphis game in hopes to see that. But it's rare. But it's so insulting to ask us to change what we do. The product that is on the floor now is a great product. And you see, it's not about us dunking and bringing the millions. It's about visibility and opportunity and equity. You see every year when ESPN and more games are shown, what happens? It skyrockets. There was not a single dunk in the women's Final Four this year, and it outperformed the men's Final Four.
10 million viewers.
It outperformed the last. What's the show we liked on HBO Max? The Last of Us. Outperformed The Last of Us for now. Like, it was an endless list of like 15 things that the women's Final Four outperformed without a single dunk. So that it's the dunking isn't the issue. It's visibility and it's the investment. That's what it comes down to. So it's insulting. It's just a tired argument, and it's quite frankly, it's a lazy argument.
Yeah.
Because I also want to question if that is your solution to improving women's basketball or getting us the millions. It makes me question if you really watch with the product that's on the floor.
No.
Because if you're a true fan of women's basketball, if you're a true fan of the WNBA, you don't make comments like that because you know what it is.
Anyone who actually plays basketball realizes the smallest change and what a difference it'll make for the players. You remember in the NBA when they changed the ball that one year and Steve Nash was making all the complaints about how it was like scuffing up his hands and everything was different, and a bunch of players in the NBA were making that same argument. That's just for changing the basketball. You want to change the height of the hoop? These players have been training for years on that level. It's all, you talk about a game of muscle memory, that throws off your whole world. Your whole job changes.
Like overseas, some gym conditions are much different. You can tell when the rim is bent. You can tell when the rim is low. Like, that's why they measure it before every game. It does throw you off. When you've been doing it for 15 plus years. And then too, like, you're asking us to be more susceptible to injury. Because again, our bodies are not meant to play above the rim. But you're starting to see, like, athleticism in women athletes in particular, it's evolving. Like, you're seeing, I saw a video on Instagram the other day of this 8th grader, like, dunking. So it's going to come, but it's never going to be, we're never going to have a WNBA dunk contest, ever. And then what kills me, too, is the same men that make the argument of us lowering the rims are the same ones that if that ever did happen, which it's never going to, would be the one still clowning the game. Because the dunks, they wouldn't be what they were expecting.
Those arguments are never made in good faith.
Yeah.
But because I feel like it's important to talk about them just because like major networks have talked about it, which sucks. So at least we can like lay that claim to death.
It's so insulting. Stop comparing us to the men. We are not the NBA. It's never that. It's a different product. It's basketball. Basketball across the board is basketball. And that's why you hear NBA guys praise the W all the time because they understand it's basketball. But you can't ask us to alley-oop it to each other and throw it down like that. Our bodies are not meant for that. It's not going to happen. Last comment by our good friend, and then we can put this to rest. But he says, but if they want those big contracts, they have to give the people what they want. What people? Please tell me who's out there petitioning
Who is people?
for us to lower the rims, because I only hear the same tired argument from the same tired men.
Yeah.
And then he doubles down and says, people will not pay their money just because you're a woman. They will pay because you're a woman that puts on a show. Nobody's asking for equity in contracts because we're women. We know the product we put on the floor is great. Nobody's asking for $100 million contracts. We understand the W doesn't make that. Like, yeah. And again, context. The NBA's been around for 77 years, 76 years. Was last year 75?
Something
the
like that.
W's been around for 50 years less.
Yep.
Like, it's going to take time.
It's always going to take time, which is why the arguments suck. But it's like, it's wild that these people are also finding us on YouTube. You're searching this on YouTube?
Yeah.
This isn't even an algorithm where it's just going to pop up for you. You're doing work to find people to comment this on.
It's like weirdo behavior to me.
Very weirdo behavior.
If you really hate women's sports that
just
much,
like, don't.
why are you commenting? Just keep it moving. Like, does it make
don't.
you feel good to make the same old...
Yeah, you got to get
Nobody
bored.
watches women's sports?
Get bored.
Cool, we got it. All right, like, move on. Why are we still talking about this?
It's a pain in the ass. Very important note, Marissa. How am I looking?
You're looking good.
Yeah?
Looking good.
Boanerges, how are we feeling?
I don't know. We're going to see.
To be clear, I cannot see anything. I have no mirror in front of me. I'm trusting y'all.
It's loading.
It's loading. Okay. Marissa, you want to ring the theoretical bell?
Ding, ding, ding,
Yeah,
ding.
thanks for those dings. Can we talk about Becky Hammon?
Let's do it.
Becky Hammon, it was reported, received the proper permissions, I guess, from the Aces and Mark Davis for the Toronto Raptors of the NBA to interview her. We know Becky obviously started in the NBA coaching. I mean, obviously she played in the W. Started coaching in the NBA under Pop. Left after she kind of figured she wasn't going to get an NBA head coaching position. Stepped into the Aces job, won right away. Now she's once again a hot topic in the coaching market. She did not say that she didn't take that interview. She kind of dodged it and said she wants to keep the focus on the women.
She euroed real quick around it.
Euroed around that question real quick. Marissa, I wonder your thoughts on Becky potentially taking this interview.
I think she takes the interview, whether she leaves or not. I don't know. And if she did, we can't be mad at her. And this isn't a situation of, oh, she thinks the NBA is better, like the NBA is like the destination. She could make history. And that's how I look at it, is she could be the first woman to be a head coach in the NBA. It's hard to pass up on that opportunity to literally make history. So I don't know. I mean, and also she could use it to negotiate something with the Aces. Like, hey, so it could be a negotiation tactic.
We know Mark's got some money.
Yeah. So, I mean, who knows? I think she takes the interview even if she is not interested in leaving, so she can go to Mark Davis and be like, okay, Marky Mark,
Yeah.
here's the situation.
Because we were looking it up, right? The average NBA head coaching salary we said was like $3.5 million, and somebody who has championship resume like Becky should command more than just the average amount, and assistant coaching experience in the NBA. So that's, we don't know the exact number, but we know it's a 7-figure deal that she's got with the Aces right now. It's still a triple, quadruple salary jump.
I think, and this is just opinion because I don't have any insider information, but I think she's happy with the Aces. They won. They just have that brand new beautiful facility.
We didn't even talk about that yet.
like that's what the W needs. That's what women's sports, when we talk equity, that's what we're talking. An equitable place to train where we're not having to drive here for this practice, here for this game, move our stuff. Like,
it's stunning.
Literally, there's been plenty, like when I played in LA, we did not have a home facility. Like we had to take our stuff with us after every practice because we were practicing at a high school. And it's like, okay, football team has spring training. They need the locker room. So we never really had like a home. So I think that's enticing to stay. And also to be a part, like what they're building in Vegas is special. So to continue to be a part of that, and she could be a part of it for years to come. So I ultimately think she stays, but if she were to get the job and leave, I would hope that people would not criticize her and give her a hard time about it. Because I think you'd be hard pressed to find somebody that had the opportunity to make history on that level and to that magnitude that wouldn't take the
Totally.
chance.
I mean, she should definitely at least be taking the interview and seeing what's up about it. And yeah, you're right. She might just use it like a normal person would do at any job to negotiate for better pay at the current job she has. But also, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's weird for her to take this. We know where her head's always been at. And she's going to do a great job in the W for as long as she's with the league. I think the league is better with her in it, so I hope that she stays. But she's got to do right for herself. So I understand it. I wonder, Marissa, too, you mentioned the training facility, which is just stunning. It's huge. It seems like it has all of the... It's not even just the basic qualities that a player would need. It seems to go above and beyond. I think Josh Hart said it would be a top 5 NBA training facility if it was in the NBA. Candace mentioned she never had a locker. I wonder, you played at for a couple of different teams. What was the situation like for you at all of those stops?
So I can speak for Candace, and when we played in LA together, and she was in LA all of her career except the couple years in Chicago. When we played in LA, we did not have a home. We were practicing at I can't remember the name of the school, but it was blue and yellow. It was a high school. A high school? We practiced at a high school. You could hear the school bell. We'd be in the middle of practice and the school bell would go off.
Like third period?
Kids are like walking through the, like...
No.
And then, like I said, we would bring our stuff. Every practice, our trainer and our equipment manager would have we had a little carry thing for our shoes. 2011, 12?
20.
So after every practice, we put our shoes and ankle braces and whatever in this bag. He would take it, and then he would bring it back the next day. You could not leave anything in the locker. So you never had, you were bringing everything to, it's like an AAU practice. We're bringing everything you needed to the gym every day.
This is the Los Angeles Sparks.
And then we played at Staples Center, but again, it was not our home. So every game day, they brought in a rug that said LA Sparks on it. It was a rug that they rolled out over the Lakers stuff. Actually, we were in a visitor's locker room, but put a rug that said LA Sparks. Then they would have like removable nameplates that they took off after every game because Taylor Swift would have a concert the next day, or this person would need the locker room. So we never had a home space. And then Chicago is notorious for horrible conditions. Like, their visitor locker room had rusted lockers. I cannot emphasize that enough. And the showers that you had to like push and like only stayed on for 30 seconds and then you like push it again. And they practice at the local YMCA. So the fact that Candace Parker, and we're sitting here off camera talking about who our greatest of all times are and talking about Candace being one of those, the fact that she's in year 15. What year is this for Candace? 14.
14. I might be 15. I don't know.
14, 15. That this is the first year that one of the greatest our game has ever seen has facilities that reflect that. That's crazy, right?
And that, so you talked about 2 stops. How was it in DC?
DC was better because we were at Verizon Center, or Capital One now. Yeah. So we did have our own locker room so we weren't moving in and out. But again, a concert came in town, then we had to get everything out because so and so needed our locker room. And then we had the practice court because the Wizards had the practice court in there. So it was better because we were affiliated with the Wizards, but it wasn't ours. it was almost by default that
you were renting.
The good, yeah.
You were still renting.
Mm-hmm. But now it's much better because they actually have.
So the Mystics.
Yeah, they have a St. Elizabeth, and
the Mystics have their own spot. But Chicago, as far as I know, has that changed?
Apparently, there's talks of them getting their own facility down, like across from where they are now, but.
And LA is still on the move constantly.
Yeah, LA, I forget where they are this year, but I saw some videos of training camp.
They still have their own spot.
Like they used to be at USC for a while, but they still don't have their own spot. I don't see LA having their own spot for a while. And even Indiana, they used to, like we did have our own locker room and the practice court again because it's affiliated with the Pacers, but they did make a good shop, so our locker room felt like ours. Like we had.
But it still wasn't.
It was. It was all Indiana Fever.
Okay.
It was all Indiana Fever. We had our cold tub, hot tub, or we had a weight room. But now I'm seeing they're not there anymore. And they don't even play it. It's not even Bankers Life anymore. But they don't play at Bankers Life, and they also don't practice there. So I'm not sure where they are.
That's so wild to me. And like we talk constantly here about the Aces and the Liberty because they have the owners putting the money in. But how much of a difference maker do you think Vegas's practice facility is going to make? Like there will be years that are after Candace Parker and after Chelsea Gray and after Asia Wilson, but that facility will last. It's
huge in the fact that, like I've shared with you so many times, like what the conditions are like overseas. There's probably a handful of teams in I'll say 10 to be generous that actually have facilities that have good recovery for you or where you actually can get good treatment. Mm-hmm. So it is so important in the W to be able to take care of your body. And two, we go from one season to the next. So there's not an off season to recover. Like the NBA guys can take a month off before they get back in the gym. There's none of that in the W. Like you're going from overseas season straight to W season. So give that long-winded explanation that it's very important because now you have a dedicated place where you can do your training, you can do your rehab, and you're not having on an off day. It is so valuable on an off day to have somewhere to go get shots up. I remember playing in LA, there was off days, the gym wasn't available because the school needed it for this or, this time.
Because I needed it for PE.
So like you would have off days, you'd have a window of maybe 11 to 1 that the gym was available. So that kind of, it's still fine, but I was a person, I liked shooting late at night. If I was just going to get shots up, I like just go and bring my speaker, shoot late at night. Didn't have the opportunity. I'd always have to go. And then maybe you just want to shoot by yourself. You don't want to be in the gym with anybody else, but you had that window. Now you have a dedicated space where at any time of the day, you can go get your work in. You can go recover. It's very important to have that space. So I think that's more enticing than the charter flights. It's like the W's so worried about if the Aces or the Liberty chartered their teams, that's going to entice free agents. The facility, in my opinion, is more so enticing to these big name free agents than being able to charter because that's actually going to help.
I was just saying, because I assume in your free agency periods that had to factor in like what the training situation was like.
Yeah, because it might not seem bad to outsiders looking in, but to not have a dedicated space, it's as a professional athlete, that's tough.
Yeah.
Can't just go get shots up. Like you have a bad shooting night and you want to get shots up right after the game or this or that, and you don't have, we got to get out of Staples Center. They got to set up for the Lakers tomorrow. They got to set up for the King. Like
would you literally go to the park? Like, what would you do if you didn't have?
No, you just had to go to that window. Like you just had no. You had no other choice. That window, that was it. That was your only option.
Yeah, that's messed up. Well, listen. The Aces made their first mark in being the team to present this new facility. We're seeing it in the NWSL now as well, where teams who are putting the money in and building giant facilities, you got to assume, again, this is another pressure point for opposing GMs. Like, oh shit, the Aces are doing this. What are we doing? Because if you want to attract big name free agents, you got to give them a professional level setting.
And you can't, I've heard arguments, the size and Mark Davis, they're billionaires. For sure. But you don't have to have billionaire money to do what they're doing, in my opinion. Because even if you have millions say you have $10 million in the bank, the resources you have and the people that you can connect to,
yep.
You try to use that. Like it's going to be hard work. to find the ways. But now they're gonna force that. And then I think too, now is no better time than to invest in women's sports. And I said this on the panel we were at in New York. I'm like, if you don't do it now, you're going to be left behind. Because it's not just a trend. It's finally people seeing, oh shit, like women's sports are dope. Like it's exciting, it's fun to watch, there's cool storylines, there's drama. It's just finally starting to get it's still not getting the visibility it deserves. It's getting a fraction of it. But look at what the fraction has done over this last year. Like we'll date back to Seattle, Vegas playoff to now. Like women's basketball is having its moment. So some of these team owners, start investing in your team or find somebody that wants to, because there's plenty of people out there that want to own a W team, and I think we'll put the investment and the resources behind it.
Like we've been saying, there are some owners who are too broke. If you're too broke to be an owner, it's time to sell. It's time to sell.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. It's gonna push the league forward, which is what we really need.
For sure. I need to ring the bell.
Ring the bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
Wow, it was a really quiet bell. Also, wait, since we're on the next round, what do I look like right now?
A person again.
I look like a person?
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
That's good. I don't know if I don't want to see. I'll wait until the very end.
Okay.
You want to talk about BG?
Let's talk about BG.
Let's talk about BG.
Did you shed any tears?
I was like, the whole press conference, I was smiling because she was smiling. Like, that was an awesome, whatever it was, 30 minutes or so of her taking questions, being BG, like making fun of Diana Taurasi, like she really showed like a person who has like such an appreciation for everything right now, and she seems so excited to be back in Phoenix, to be playing basketball again. Mm-hmm. What was your takeaway?
It got me teary-eyed, especially when she got teary-eyed, and I hope that, most Americans know who she is now.
Yep.
And it was so disheartening but not surprising at some of the comments while she was going through what she was going through in Russia. And I hope that folks that either watched that press conference or saw the clips, that it humanizes her for them.
Yep.
That she's not just this political pawn that people can push their agendas and their narratives that they want to push. That she is a human with feelings, and she experienced something traumatic and still finds a way to be positive, smile about it, but most importantly, use her platform to help other detained Americans and to bring awareness to that. Like, that shouldn't go unlooked, because she could just be, all right, I'm back home, thank you guys, and then go back to her, focusing on basketball. But now she's really trying to make an impact based off of what she experienced. But for me, same. It was good to see her smiling, but I really hope that interview softened some people that were saying some really messed up things, and that we start leading with more grace in our reactions to things.
I think that's honestly.
I'm like loving it. I'm just trying not to smile because I'm like.
We're talking about a wholesome moment as like half of my mustache is being shaved. I agree.
Lexi, you're getting a new man.
I'm so excited to see what this looks like. Also, very very hard to talk and get your haircut at the same time. It's an experience. I agree though. I think that was an amazing press conference in showing BG's personality, which is key, which is huge. It's good for you're just cracking up, and I'm trying to talk about a nice topic.
It's a good smile.
I'm trying to talk about a nice topic. Her line where she called Diana Taurasi a walking fossil was so fantastic. It was incredibly perfect, and even just her talking about like getting back on the floor again. It's amazing. It's been how many months since she's been back? I can't remember how many months she's been back, but it has not been very long. Mm-hmm. And for her to get back on the court already is super insane. You saw the Mercury drop a little like mixtape almost of her in practices. Yeah. That's pretty nuts.
It is. But you have to think that like that's her sanctuary. That's where she can forget about everything. That's what she does. That's what she's so great at. And I would imagine like she couldn't wait to get back to that. And it's probably hard for her to keep talking about, like, I would imagine that's not an experience you want to relive.
Yeah.
It's probably something you want to forget about. And she had so many supporters, but she knows that people were being so negative about it. And why are we bringing her home? And, well, why did she have that in her bag at all? It's like, come on. Weed is being legalized everywhere in America at this point. Everybody smokes. So, you know, it's not this taboo thing it used to be, like, oh my gosh, like,
and we don't even know for sure that that's what was real. Like,
and even if it was, who cares?
Yeah,
it doesn't.
That's the thing.
It's people. She made a mistake. We have all made mistakes, but we don't all have.
Allegedly, because again, we don't know.
Yeah, allegedly. But we all aren't Brittney Griner. We all don't have the fame and notoriety she does. She made one mistake. That doesn't make her a bad person.
Nope.
It doesn't make her... People are trying to deem her of all these horrible things, and they don't know her. She's one of the nicest people. In that press conference, I think gave people a glimpse into who BG is.
No, it was a really nice moment. I'm glad Phoenix did it like early in training camp too. I'm sure she was like a little anxious about her first press conference. I needed this for my memories. I'm containing this because again, I cannot see a single thing. So yeah, I'm glad they had the conference early. I'm sure she wanted to get it out of the way, and now she can focus on her day-to-day life, which is really nice. And we get to see her back on a basketball court in less than 3 weeks.
W season. It's gonna be fun.
W season. You know, we have some time, Marissa. Do you want to get into some very early like predictions? Maybe not like who you think is going to win the championship. It's still early for that. But
Sparks.
who?
Sparks? We got a hot take. Okay. Sparks. We got to hear it.
The chat. Boanerges has entered the chat. Say more.
Yep.
Hey, Sparks, LA all the way. So.
Okay, is that just because you're an LA fan, or do you have some supporting reasons?
Wait. Which also, we know that you're a LeBron fan.
Oh gosh.
He
said Kobe's his favorite of all time.
So have you always been an LA fan, like an LA sports fan? Are you from LA?
No, I'm not.
Okay, but you've always been an LA sports fan. And you've been a Sparks fan since the Candace Parker era.
I'm a Part-Time Mystic fan because
you live here. Yeah.
But Sparks.
Sparks. All right.
Just remember that.
Okay. So we were talking before we got started with Matt's haircut. You said Lil Wayne made you a women's basketball fan.
Yes, man.
All right. So Weezy F Baby, how do he turn you into a fan?
He's the greatest rapper of all time. And then
say more. I love it.
It was the summer he kept going off about Skylar Diggins. And I looked her up and I see what he was talking about. She was a baller. Why are you laughing?
Because you said you looked her up and saw what he was talking about. I just assumed you're talking about her looks, not her game.
I'm a basketball fan here. I seen her game and her looks, But from there on, and then I'm a big Kobe fan. Kobe supports he's a girl dad. And he supports women basketball. So from there on, I've just been watching and admiring. So, like I said, Sparks. Championship this year.
So you're saying we don't need to lower the rim, we just need Lil Wayne to make more people fans?
That's it. You gotta watch the game. The rim won't help. It's a beautiful game. I think half of the people that talk bad about them haven't been to a game or witnessed the atmosphere that goes on.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the issue.
It's very true. No, it's such a good point. They just continue to perpetuate the narrative, but have never really watched the game. Like I've had a ton of men throughout my career come up and say all it took was one game. Now I'm hooked. I remember in college, I think I sent you the clip. Gravis Vasquez, who played on the men's team, played in the NBA. When he first got to Maryland, he didn't understand why so many people loved us. And I remember him and I. We always were in the gym at the same time together, but him and I had this conversation. He said our championship was much easier to win than if we were guys. So it became this whole argument, but him and I ended up playing one-on-one and I beat him. And he's like, okay, it's and then he started coming to games and now he's a fan. So it just sometimes takes people getting over their bias and the stereotypes And it's all women's sports.
Sorry, my mustache is being trimmed.
No.
The Lil Wayne stuff is so interesting too because he was also very prominent in the LSU win.
In college over the last couple of weeks.
Who was?
Lil Wayne.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder how much influence he will continue to have in the women's game. He said him and Flau'jae are gonna come out with some song.
Oh yeah.
Eventually, right? You saw that too?
Yeah.
Which would be amazing. Lil Wayne, the under told stories of his women's sports fandom. We gotta get Lil Wayne on the show, Marissa. How do we get Lil Wayne on the show?
Jamie knows his boy, remember?
Oh yeah, you're right. Jamie, our boss, she knows everybody. It's actually amazing. I think that's our new mission for the year of 2023. Get Lil Wayne, on See You in the Lobby.
Oh man.
What?
I tried, but you know.
Jeez. Now, I can't see anything.
That's not what you want to hear. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, hell yeah. I look so much better. Man, I've needed a haircut
You see your
for
part?
so. I love the part. Boanerges did a great job. You did a great job.
That fresh haircut smile.
It's so much better. You don't understand the pain I've had having to look at myself in the mirror the last couple of days.
I think this is a good look. You might need to keep it.
With the rest of the facial hair?
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. We need everybody to vote.
Vote?
We need all the comment section to vote.
Before no one's voting for that.
If you should keep that. It looks good.
If I should keep the facial hair?
Right, Nirvana?
Okay, I might keep it. Do I finally not look like I'm like 17 years old?
You're
older.
giving a good 25.
Okay. Okay. I'll take 25. Boanerges,
Yes, sir.
you're very appreciated.
Thank you, sir.
It's a good look, Matt.
Listen, it's way better than my pandemic era self haircut that was a disaster. Look at me. Look at me. Remember we said if we were 10 out of 10, we'd be insufferable and posted at each other? I might do that.
How many times did you look in the mirror today?
A lot. You're right. I might actually keep this.
Oh, it's a good look.
All right, nicely done. See you, Lobby. This was a deranged episode. Marissa, do you have anything else you want to chat about? Did we hit the mark?
I think we hit the mark.
Okay, we've got 2 more shows until the season starts.
So we'll start getting.
We'll get some guests.
Season stuff.
We'll get some season stuff, some predictions. Maybe we'll get some guests on the show. Maybe Boanerges will come back.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll dye your hair after you lose a bet with me.
Yeah,
We should recruit him for the rec league.
Do you play?
I do.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
Hall of Fame.
we got a new teammate. What a great little wholesome episode.
See you in the lobby, bringing people
See,
together.
It always is bringing people together. All right, friends. Thank you for enduring my haircut and indulging us on this bizarre trip. Also, friends, Boanerges, you saw him take my disgusting hair and make it into something more than presentable. I actually look wonderful. And you should come through to Thundershop in Gaithersburg and get yours cut too.
You should. It smells really good in here.
It does smell really good in here. And it was clean, remember? You have a new appreciation for how clean men can actually be.
To all the guys watching this, I walked in, I was like, man, I am so impressed of how clean it is. I haven't been in too many barbershops, but come on, guys, you guys aren't the cleanest. So,
Okay.
gentlemen, if you're looking for a clean barbershop, come here. Ladies, if your man needs a new barber, here this is a good spot.
We take care of the ladies too. Cuts, color.
So let's just hope Matt doesn't try to bet me and I have to get...
Everybody let me know what color you want Marissa's hair to be after she loses the first bet of the season. Lime green it is.
Back
See ya.
in the